The cultures, just to recap that, is nothing more than influence. We have been really good at influencing our Marines, whether it's through this weird, fraternity of crazy, psychopathic, compassionate men and women. But it works. Bullet's a bullet, man.
Yeah.
Blood's blood. I mean, everybody loves money, right? It does make some problems go away, but I'll tell you, it doesn't make all the other ones go away. Well, I think people look for this strategy to try to make them successful, and I'll tell you, stop. Just stop. I mean, there's always got to be some strategy, but what comes first and foremost before that? It's the culture that you develop. Culture will always eat strategy for breakfast, right? Yeah. Whether you're a father, whether you're a mother, whether you're a business leader, whether you're a U.S. Marine, right? Since we're talking about 250 years, you want to be a better leader, then know what a leader is. And a leader is nothing more than an influence. That you taking individual responsibility for those in your surroundings. If everybody did that, like I can walk into the back of my shop and I can have my newest employee that I just hired. He's been bred in, he's been in briefed, he knows the culture of the company. And I can walk by having a shitty day and he'll be like, "Hey, good morning, boss." I'm like, "Hey, good morning. What's going on?" And he'll be like, "Hey, you doing all right today?" And when he can kind of see it, and I'll turn and look at him like, because maybe I just had a shitty morning or something, or I'm like, "I am now, bud. Thank you." And I walk away. That's leadership. It goes both ways. Right. So that's why I want to know. And I wish to God I could go back into my teams and know every single thing about every one of my men. Why? Because what warrior culture and history never did that? None of them. They all did that. Yeah. And today, there's always that, well, you should never get, like the old war movies, like, hey, don't, like World War II, like Fury, like, hey, it doesn't matter your name, man, because you're not going to be around long enough to know you. And I don't want to get too emotionally attached to you. What if you did, though? What if you gave so much of a shit about your brothers that you knew everything about them and that made you more compassionate towards them? And then we know that compassion is the only thing that will make you fight harder than anything else. The more you care about something, the harder you'll fight for it. Yeah. Like your family, right? I always give that example. Somebody tried breaking my house and kill somebody or hurt me, and I destroyed that human being. It's not because of their evil motive or intention. It's because I care about my family much more than that piece of shit. Yeah, yeah. So that's where compassion is the first principle of the warrior, right? It's not just honor. You can't have honor just like that. You have to do something honorable. Where does that come from? Giving a shit. And now I step up, and now I go do something. And then next thing you know, okay, you might be honorable. But that's not why I did it. It's like Lonnie, we were talking about earlier on the rooftop. He wasn't fighting his ass off because he wanted to be titled as courageous. He fought his ass off because he had no other choice. And so he had to be vulnerable, and he gave a shit so much. He cared so much. You hear an honorable story at the end, right? But he would never admit that. He would never say, "Oh yeah, I'm honorable." None of us would do that. Yeah. I would say, "Oh, I give a shit." I would say I'm compassionate. Yeah,
that's easy to determine if you give a shit or not, for sure.
And then, but when you go in the Marine Corps and you start talking about, "Hey guys, today we're going to talk about compassion," like, fuck you,
I'm sure somebody's going to say that.
Yeah,
for sure.
But you can't say that because otherwise I would immediately question that Marine in my team, or that soldier, that airman, or that sailor, that law enforcement officer, and say, "Why did you join?" Yeah. Let's go back to the root. So I would say, if anything else, if you're a platoon sergeant, team leader, platoon commander, executive officer, any staff, you should know why every single one of your men joined, because there's a why in there somewhere. Yeah. And if you know that why, and it's not a good one, you can cultivate that why with your culture. Now you enter culture, eat strategy for breakfast. And then once we get that culture stabilized, guess what happens? Now we bring in our systems. Now we bring in our TTPs. Now we bring in our policies. And I think which the Marine Corps does well. Right? There's a reason why everybody's talking about us right now, because we are the heartbeat of the entire world when it comes to being warriors. We are the greatest warrior culture on the face of the planet, right? The Spartan had 300, and then they had the 10,000 that came in. We have 225,000 U.S. Marines in this world. Yeah. That's a dangerous...
Active Marines, anyway.
Active. Yeah, well, yeah. That's including reserves.
And reserves, yeah. Because there's probably about 185,000 active or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, and that's not even including like all the Marines that served in the past that are just vets now.
Yeah, and there's going to be tons tonight, right? Yeah. There's going to be like 700 vets here tonight this ball. That's the first time I think this has ever happened. Yeah. So, and again, they're all those guys and gals that are going to be there tonight, they've been living that principle. They've been starting their families, their businesses, and they're still giving back to their communities, and that's why they're here. Otherwise, it wouldn't be, Yeah. And some of these guys we got a guys, was it Sergeant Ferguson coming tonight, the 101-year-old Marine Did you get a chance to talk to him?
I'm supposed to talk to him when we get out there today, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like that guy's still doing it every day.
A Korean War vet, right? Or yeah. I'd love to talk to him. I think he's Korean. Yeah. Or maybe he's actually no. There's a World War II veteran coming and a Korean War veteran coming.
That's right.
I might have mixed.
The Korean guy can't make it.
Yeah, that's right.
But the 101-year-old guy, he's getting out of his wheelchair and walking up and cutting the cake on his own. He refuses. He's refusing to sit. 101 years old.
That's culture.
Who does that, man?
That's culture,
right?
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting him. That's gonna be freaking cool, man.
And the cultures, just to recap, that is nothing more than influence. We have been really good at influencing our Marines, whether it's through this weird, fraternity of crazy, psychopathic, compassionate men and women. But it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
And I love it.
It does. I think it does work. And there's a reason why that culture has, maintained its, framework. It's changed a little bit with the culture, with like the times and technology, but for the most part, that culture has kind of like maintained its consistency throughout the years.
Well, Vietnam Marines, Korea Marines, World War II Marines, World War I Marines, and so on back all the way to the Bahamas. Were any of those cultures similar in any way? If you really think about it.
At the time, probably not. Probably because it was a very different time.
Just like right now, it's a different time.
Yep.
So we can't say, oh, all of a sudden the Marine Corps shit. It's like, no, I'm sure guys in Korea are like, hey, you Vietnam guys are a bunch of pussies. All right. And the Vietnam guys are like, hey, you fucking Gulf War guys are a bunch of pussies. And it's like, no, you can't say that.
I'm sure. Yeah.
A bullet's a bullet, man.
Yeah.
Blood's blood.
Yeah.
Sacrifice is sacrifice. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I still have a lot of faith in like the younger generations that are interested in serving the country in the Marine Corps and every other branch, because like if they're motivated to be there, they're motivated to be there, and they're willing and able and ready to face whatever they're going to be facing in the future, regardless of how technology's changed and regardless of like what the policy of the United States is at that time, because it's going to change from leadership to leader to leader. But I still think that we're, the country's in good hands with this new generation. And I think they're willing to, I think they're willing to step up to the plate just the same way that every other generation stepped up to the plate when they were needed, because they're going to be put in positions where they don't have a choice and they have to.
That's right.
It's like you're talking about on the roof. You don't have a choice. That's it.
Strength is your
You better figure it out. Yeah, you figure it. You have to find a way, and that's it. And I think that they will be capable of finding a way.
Thomas Paine said, when there's trouble, let it be now my time, so in the future my children will be safe. Well, have our children ever been safe? So no. I mean, if they were supposed to be, did I screw up? Did you screw up? Why are we fighting? Did our dads screw up? Did our grandfather, in the history we talked about earlier, did they screw up? No. I think he meant every generation has to step up when there's trouble. And there's always evil. There's always trouble, right? Yep. So get rid of the guns and the evil goes away. It doesn't. So that's why you have to have the balance of opposites, the yin and yang, right? The duality of man, right? The war and the peace. Private Joker, that guy that's the world. That's the story right there. Laugh and kill. And so I believe, like we said earlier, or you said earlier, talking about the social influence and the power over people with all this misinformation and disinformation and AI, we're starting to go, what is actually real? Like I watched some videos this morning over and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. And it's like, it's getting so real. I'm like, oh, that's AI. Okay, that can't be, there's no way that's real.
Yeah.
And eventually, and I'm even noticing it just talking to my kids, they're getting fed up with it to a point where like eventually when you can't tell what's real, guess what people will start doing? This.
Talking.
They'll be like, that shit's fake.
Yeah,
but
all
you
that's
aren't,
crap. Yeah.
I'm not, so let's have a conversation. And I think that's what I'm really hopeful for right now.
That's what I hope happens too. And honestly, like I think the whole 2020 pandemic era kind of stunted some people's growth, but I think that we're going to get back to it eventually, because like there are certain things that are tried and true, and talking to somebody face to face is always going to be more impactful than talking to somebody through a computer screen or communicating through texts or communicating through a video message that you don't know whether it was AI or not, And so I think more people are going to come together and they're going to have to find a way.
You don't have a choice, man.
You don't have a choice. That's it.
America's our boat, and we only got one.
Yeah, and if there's holes in it, you better start bailing it out and find a way to seal the hole up. That's it. It's there's no other way about it, So, but let me ask you this: when did you actually found Haley Strategic and Haley Strategic Partners after Magpul? Because you left Magpul.
It was a month later. It was
a month later.
Yeah, January of. Yeah, I was already ready to. I mean, I move quickly. I don't waste a lot of time with shit.
I feel the same way.
Yeah, I what's the point, right? If you can get it done, get it done.
Drive forward pretty quick. Yeah.
Because I already know what it is and what it takes to make a business. Now I'm building this big, almost $100 million company and going. And so that was an amazing growth spurt for not just me, but all of us. But now I can take that information later and go, okay, well, these systems work great, but I can't afford them yet as a new entrepreneur, right? I can't just step out of a big company, big salary and go, oh, how hard can it be?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's extremely hard, like you said earlier. But I didn't maybe have the ability to pay for that specific software, but I'm also good at improvising and overcoming and adapting until eventually I get to that point where, because I went back by myself. I bought a little house in Montrose, Colorado, had a little 2,000 square foot workshop out back, moved my CNC machines, all my sewing machines in there, built a big gun vault, had my racks in there for t-shirts and patches and swag, and went back. I mean, I'm coming out of this freaking crazy ass high speed life, moving back into a tin shed.
But you had a lot of experience at that point.
Yeah, so I'm already training now at the brands there, right? It's easy for me to get out and train and dive right back into product development. And I started sewing because I never did any really soft good stuff besides the slings at Magpul, and I really enjoy the textiles world because it's a very difficult space to find solutions. Yeah, because it's so saturated, right? You guys,
super
everything
saturated.
From the surplus stores out there, everybody thinks, oh, that'll work, to like, no, it's like, dude, you don't skimp on your weapon systems and your optics, at least you shouldn't. So don't skimp on your load bearing equipment or your armor. It's like we're still wearing 10, 15 pound plate carriers. And dude, I've been running plates that are less than 2 pounds for the last 5 to 10 years. Yeah. Like, why is not everybody getting that? Oh, it's too expensive. Oh, so you're putting a price on human's life with body armor. Yeah, let's see how that works. So eventually we're going to get it. So we just try to get into it first and influence people to eventually get that way. So yeah, it's been an amazing ride, especially with helping, the military. We've done really well with the contract world. Rocket packs and JTAC stuff for the Air Force, Navy, and Marines. Yeah. And they're all quick solutions, and they're we don't play the typical procurement game. I don't wait for a military solicitation. If I believe that something should be built, just like that Goose Pack for the Marine Corps, I will build it. And we did within 30 days. And it's like, well, hey, we don't have a budget for this. I said, don't worry about that, to the gunners. I'm like, some of you guys do. Who's your next MEU going out? What's your budget? $52 million. Okay, can you buy a couple packs to go test? Yeah, absolutely. I want this thing. Okay, we'll wait till your budget for the MEU comes around. Then impact cards, people start buying little packs here and there. Next thing you know, First Marine Division is like, what are you guys doing? Hey, this is the pack we want. Well, stop. We'll buy that for you. And next thing you know, Marcor Syscoms, hey, what the fuck are you guys doing, First Marine Division? I probably shouldn't be saying this, but and they're like, hey, stop. Like, this is the pack we want. Because the other solution was like $4,800.
Probably a lot more expensive.
It was welded metal frames. And I'm like, dude, I'm already heavy enough. That's BS. So we made this very lightweight missile foam, injection molded system, super lightweight materials that you can carry 4 rockets in, and did it that fast. Then we built all the thermal cases and everything else in the X slings so now you can wear the Goose, because you get a $1.8 billion contract for the Carl Gustaf to the Marine Corps. Finally, since World War II, we've been using the Army's been using the Goose. And it's like, all right, we got some awesome, the baddest freaking rocket system in the world with all this new ordnance and everything else. Yep. And let me guess, no SL3 equipment to carry it.
No SL3 equipment,
So you got Marines with this badass Goose on their shoulder, but then they're still 550 cording the plastic tubes to their sides and cutting their necks up. And then it's like, what are we doing here, guys? So now I got to wait for another solicitation to come around to help the Marines. I don't believe in that. I just help the Marines. Next thing you know, Marcor Syscom's like, hey, this is now a program of record. Here's your NSNs. So let's go ahead and get this into.
Here's your NSNs.
Yeah. But if you want to sit around and wait for a solicitation and bid with other companies, which we do, we still do that kind of stuff too. Because sometimes it's just necessary and you have to do it that way. But if a Marine needs something, I will make it. If a sailor, an airman, or soldier needs something, that's why I built this high-speed research and development center in Arizona, so we could do that in a heartbeat. And they're like, you're willing to do this for like 5 of our guys? Like, well, yeah. Well, how can you do this and still run hundreds of thousands of square foot of manufacturing space? Like, because I can. Because I will. And that's, again, me taking care of the individual operator, not looking for the big take. You know? And by doing that, I've actually grown my business more organically from the inside out versus the outside in. And I'm, Yeah, I can't believe how big it's grown by
Yeah, you guys are crushing it,
by
man.
doing it from the heart, man. And it's never bullshit, because I couldn't stand myself, because I got to that point when you're fucking on that fast train, you're hauling ass, and you see 7-figure purchase orders every single day. You're like, oh my God, we made it, boys. We can buy Lambos and helicopters now. Yes, I've lived that life, and I feel like a piece of shit when I live that life. Not to say it's bad. I mean, everybody loves money, right? It does make some problems go away, but I'll tell you, it doesn't make all the other ones go away.
Yeah.
It sometimes gets worse. So I love going home at night knowing that I helped somebody that day, even if it was one person in my showroom, just going out there to say hi to them and talk to their kids, and or being on the road training. I'm still doing probably 70+% of the training courses. And we do about 45 to 50 training courses a year. And I've got a phenomenal team. I can trust them. But I still got to be out there on the road, because that's where I find the ideas. That's where I talk to people and touch and feel and share and influence and inspire and empower.
Yeah.
And that goes in reverse to me as well. So they're feeding me just as much as I'm feeding them. And then all of a sudden I walk back in R&D, I'm like, guys, I got ideas. And it's just like an endless list of ideas versus just sitting in a cubicle designing parts all day because somebody told me on an email.